week, the Information Commissioner has written to Delhi Lieutenant Governor VK Saxena regarding Delhi government's failure in implementing the Right to Information Act 2005. He said that the act has been reduced to lame duck act by the government. Delhi government not implementing RTI Act 2005, covering up corruption, nepotism, inaction in revenue, health and power departments. So the anti-corruption movement that Kejriwal claims to have championed, and on the back of that entered politics. Here is a latest setback. The Information Commissioner writing to the Delhi Lieutenant Governor that the Delhi government is acting against transparency. The Delhi government is actually blocking transparency by not implementing the powerful Right to Information Act. Niyamika is now joining us with the details. Niyamika, more trouble for the Aam Aadmi Party-led Delhi government.
That's absolutely right, and this is a continuous political slugfest which is going on between the Lieutenant Governor and the Aam Aadmi Party government. And the recent development which has taken place is that the information officer had written a letter to the Delhi L-G regarding the Delhi government's failure in implementing the Right to Information Act, and he has also alleged that there is no transparency and accountability on the part of the Delhi government's departments, and even he has also alleged regarding the nepotism in certain departments of the Delhi government, and that is the reason why he had also written a letter to the Lieutenant Governor. And to that, the Lieutenant Governor has also asked the Chief Secretary to look into this matter and to take certain actions regarding this whole claims which are being made on the part of the CIC. But on the other hand, earlier also we have witnessed that this kind of attack are being made on the part of the Lieutenant Governor on the Delhi government, and today also the same kind of thing has happened. But on the other hand, when we asked this question to the Aam Aadmi Party, Durgesh Pathak, who is the Aam Aadmi Party MLA, has also replied to this matter, and he has said that none other than the Modi government's own CAG report has also claimed that Delhi government is one of the most honest government in the entire country, and that is the reason why it is also being praised on that part. But
and this letter, Niyamika, let's get into the details of this letter. This is a strongly worded letter written by the Information Commissioner to the Delhi L-G VK Saxena, and I am quoting, allow me to quote from the letter, that the departments refuse to give information or give misinformation to people, and information sought relating to irregularities and corruption is held back. The Information Commissioner also says that public information officers virtually insult the Commission by not being present for hearing and sending clerks and lower level personnel in more than 60% cases pertaining to the Revenue Department. And let's blow this letter up on the big screen. Kitty now joining us for more on that. Yes, Kitty.
This is a letter that has been written by CIC Uday Mahurkar to the Delhi Lieutenant Governor, in which he's clearly said that the basic objective of the Right to Information Act, which we know is to bring transparency and accountability in the system by empowering the citizens. It's a major weapon, he says, in the hands of the common citizens to fight corruption. But what is happening in the national capital here is that in many cases, he says, the RTI applicants seeking information in these departments, he refers to departments such as DSSSB and the Power Department, the DSIIDC Department. He's saying what is happening is that in many cases the RTI applicants who are seeking information are in miserable condition, he says. They're legitimate applications that information that has a bearing on their life are being stonewalled. He's saying the Delhi government is not really acting properly. They're not implementing the RTI Act 2005 properly, and there are discrepancies also that he's pointed out here. Now he's pointed out some examples also, Pranesh. I would like to show you here. The CIC says that there are glaring instances of authorities not doing enough to protect larger public interest. He said, for example, there is one case concerning major private hospitals of Delhi. What is happening here is that these hospitals in question have not given the mandatory treatment worth around 580 crore rupees to EWS. That's the economically weak section category patients in Delhi. But the government, he says, is not doing enough, is not really acting in the proper manner to force them to pay, because these hospitals, they've got a stay order on the recovery from the Delhi High Court. Now, what is also also being mentioned here is that one examples that have been pointed out here by the CIC to the in this letter to the L-G, he says the information is also not forthcoming on tenders of the PWD.
Right,
so it's not just...
We'll talk about the details. Kitty, just hold on. Let's get a reaction. First reactions coming from the BJP national spokesperson Shehzad Poonawala now joining us. Sir, thank you for speaking to Times Now. Kejriwal likes to call himself the anti-corruption crusader. Look what the Information Commissioner, the Central Information Commissioner, no less, has said in his letter to the L-G.
You know, right from having Anna Hazare as a mentor at a time when they used to fashion themselves as India against corruption, to now having Lalu Prasad as their mentor and defending the corrupt, whether it's Satyendra Jain, Manish Sisodia, or Vijay Nair or others, this shows the complete political conversion of Arvind Kejriwal and the Aam Aadmi Party. This is yet another evidence that how they are trying to cover up corruption. This is equivalent to the same Kattar Imandar certificates that Mr. Kejriwal has been dishing out despite court orders to the likes of Satyendra Jain, and this entire attempt to, and ironically by those who champion the cause of RTI, in fact have won awards for it, shows that they do not want information about their corruption to come out, because this Aam Aadmi Party government is the most corrupt government in Delhi in the last maybe 50 odd years, and therefore this government wants to try and stonewall every element of information so that nobody can understand the kind of humongous corruption they're doing, whether it's the Sharab Gotala, whether it's the bus Gotala, whether it's the classroom Gotala, or the Gotala that is done in every department under Arvind Kejriwal's watch.
Transparency blocked by AAP. That's the charge by the Central Information Commissioner. Stay with us, Shehzad Poonawala. Ravi Srivastava, political analyst, also with us. Mr. Srivastava, how would you respond to this?
See, nobody can teach the Right to Information Act to Arvind Kejriwal, who has been practicing it for last more than 25 years since he left the Joint Commissioner of Income Tax. So I don't think that he needs a lesson on that. Second thing, it's such a vague letter by a person of a stature of a Chief Information Commissioner. He should have found out that where the information has not been provided, quote a specific instance that this is where the Delhi government RTI query, or here that the Delhi government did not give the specific information which was asked for. Whatever is under the Act, if it is not to be provided, it is not to be provided. They mentioned the clause for that there are certain clauses under 8D and all that where in the public interest that information cannot be provided. They will mention that it cannot be provided. And if they have deliberately held it, then Delhi government will respond to it.
No, Mr. Srivastava, let me give you an example and allow me to quote from the letter. Now, there was a glaring issue regarding the health department as to how free treatment was not given by private hospitals that land on concessional rates to EWS category patients. Information was sought about this. This was also not provided.
This is subjective. He has to mention that where is the agreement? What agreement was entered into with the government when the land was provided? When the land was purchased by the government, or the land was purchased by a private individual or anybody. So a particular clause should be mentioned about it. There are several kind of hospitals are there. All these 5-star hotel hospitals, they have got the concessional rate only. Why their clauses are not invoked? How much treatment they provide to the poor people? Let them ask about these Delhi hospitals also, the private hospitals, the so-called Apollo, Max, Fortis, Vedanta. Where are the agreements? Are they providing the required amount of treatment to the poor people and underprivileged people?
But Mr. Srivastava, if this is the case, sir, if somebody files an RTI, no, help our viewers understand how it works. Because you are confusing issues. If an RTI query is about something specific, and if you don't want to share that information, you have to respond to the person who sought that information that, look, under these clauses, I am unable to share the information. All that is not being done, says this letter.
No, see, then it can be escalated. If the Chief Information Commissioner feels that it is so, he can go for an action as well. He can ask he has sought a clarification, the clarification will be provided. He has asked the Lieutenant Governor will provide a clarification on this.
Okay, escalate the issue. Shehzad Poonawala, Ravi Srivastava says escalate the issue.
is a constitutional and statutory body, and when it has come to a finding that the government of Delhi is trying to stonewall information and is deliberately not providing the requisite information instead of brazen about it, Mr. Kejriwal must answer as to why he's doing that. And he's doing that because there's certainly a vested interest, just like in the case of him giving a clean sheet to Mr. Satyendra Jain despite court orders. So this shows two things. One, they do not respect constitutional and statutory bodies. They don't respect the LG's office. They do not respect courts. They do not respect the CIC's office. And they also treat trivially matters of corruption, and therefore they are trying to stonewall it. They are trying to stonewall it because perhaps there is a deep amount of corruption that has been done by their own ministers.
All right, transparency blocked to shield corruption. That's the charge by the BJP. I thank both of you, Mr. Poonawala, Ravi Srivastava, for joining us. The big story breaking first on Times Now.